That Note with Parker Whirling.
I'm loving the boots you got on right now. I
Thank
just noticed
you.
them.
Thank you so
Show them off for
much.
the camera here.
Okay, wait. Did I do that right? I don't know.
The black cowboy
Yeah.
boots with the pink skulls.
Yes, thrifted them.
Oh, really?
Yes, had to get them. I literally saw them and I was like, oh, okay.
Did you
take
get them
my
in
money.
Atlanta?
Yeah, I think I got them at the clothing warehouse.
Clothing warehouse,
If I'm not
classic.
mistaken, yeah.
I got my favorite pair of Carhartts there.
Ugh,
Shout out to
classic.
Little 5 Points thrift stores.
Yes, I agree. 100%.
But stoked to have you on the pod today to talk about so many things, your new album coming out.
Yes.
But I also want to talk about this album that you chose to start the episode, Abbey Road, The Beatles. What made you pick this album out of the extensive collection?
There were so many. I need everyone to know that. There were so many to pick from. And I picked this one because I think that there's never going to be another record like this. I think that this one, for the time and everything, like, I mean, I grew up listening to this, and my sister and my mom are, like, extremely big Beatles fans, and so is my family, but just in general, like, those two in particular, I just remember growing up and, like, listening to all of their albums and everything, and I just think, like, I grew an attachment to the Beatles through that, and so I listen to them, but I don't even listen to them all the time, and I just know their albums because of how I grew up.
They're definitely a kid's thing at first.
Yes.
I feel like a lot of people are
builds
introduced.
character.
Yeah, they're introduced to them when they're like,
Yeah.
for me, I was in third grade and my
Okay,
dad
yeah.
would play their greatest hits in the car.
Exactly.
And it wasn't until 15 years later that my friend showed me their full albums. I really only knew their greatest hits, which, are still awesome.
Amazing,
But then I
yeah.
started hearing all the ones that weren't hits. I'm like, these are weird, but cool at the
But,
same time.
so unique. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I even feel like I've seen things about how they write and how, I mean, I just think they're geniuses, quite literally. I mean, there will never be another Beatles. I know, One Direction and some other boy bands used to be compared, and it's even as a directioner, I was very much nobody is the Beatles. Nobody will ever be the Beatles.
It's just such a stupid comparison.
No,
what are we
actually,
doing?
I'm
these old heads.
What makes you beautiful versus Here Comes the Sun?
Obviously,
Please.
it's what makes you beautiful. That song does rule. I
That
did
song
see
is-
One Direction in high school. I'm not gonna lie.
You saw them?
I saw them.
I always wanted to, and I'm actually really jealous right now.
I
think
know.
need to
I
go.
know. I have that on me right
Unfortunately, I think I have to
now.
go.
It was the tour where Zayn left.
Oh, wow.
So kind of a very niche.
Unique
moment.
experience.
Yeah.
Unique experience.
Yeah, no big deal. But yeah, Beatles, One Direction, pretty comparable bands.
Yeah, definitely.
But let's get into Different Girl, your new album
okay.
coming out. As you listen to the episode in 2 days, but as we're recording it in 1 week exactly. And you stated in an Instagram post, you said half of the album was written between 2022 and 2024. The other half was written in the last 5 months, all recorded between October and February. You recorded with Aaron Rizzo, who's been on the podcast before. But I just want to know what your thoughts are on this process, having been such a long one. You said 2 years of writing half of these songs and then a very quick period of time where you wrote the other half. And now you're just 1 week away as we record this from this album coming
This is
out. What are your thoughts? What are your feelings?
It feels like my literal baby.
Yeah.
I'm obsessed with it. I mean, I just think that I started playing guitar in 2022 and taught myself, and immediately the first song I wrote was the song called Mood Ring, and that song I started performing at open mics, and people got pretty familiar with it and started singing the words back and started covering it, and I was like, wait, maybe I'm not horrible at writing songs on guitar, because I was so used to writing to beats and to other people's music, and so I then started writing songs on the album, the song called Painkiller. I remember I wrote that and I was like, this song I feel like I could give some big country artist. It's kind of like a country-ish inspired song. And I was like, I don't think it's for me. Like, I don't know. But I loved it. I loved the song. And my song called Dumb, it's about like self-sabotage. I remember writing that, and I started performing that, and people really related to it. And people would ask me, like, are you going to release these songs? And I was like, I don't know. Because I was like, I don't know if it's where I'm at right now. But I know that I love them, and I know that, like, it would be really cool to have them on a project one day. But it just didn't feel, like, feasible. It didn't feel like it could really be a reality. And so I went through a breakup last fall, and it kind of changed my entire mentality on music and my life. And so I was like, why don't I do this for real? Like, why don't I just pour myself into this project right now? And I think it healed me. And writing half of the album years ago and writing half of it now, it kind of just shows all the different stages of my life and my relationships and my past, and it all like came together. And yeah.
Did it feel weird at all or natural once you put these songs all together from the way past a few years ago to, like, you know, these most recent songs?
It like weirdly makes so much sense because you know, some of the songs are not about my recent ex because I didn't know him when I wrote them.
Sure.
And so, but they relate like to the situation. So I'm like, this is very weird that like all of these things are making sense. And every song on the album represents a different part of the healing process. And so that was kind of an accident, but it just like worked. And it's not in order because I don't think healing necessarily has an order. I don't believe that you go through, you know, depression and then acceptance at the end. And like, I think that it's a ebb and flow process. Like one day you can wake up and feel like you've accepted it, and the next you can wake up depressed, the next day you can wake up in denial. And it's not a linear thing. And so I didn't want the album to be in order. And so I think that it makes sense.
Yeah. How did you decide on the order, if you were, you know, intentionally trying to like mismatch it, I guess? And also you can put the Beatles on the ground if you want. You don't have to like No, that happened to Desmond Myers. He came on and he just had it on his lap the whole time.
Honestly,
I'm like,
cool,
I should have just told him like he can put it down.
It's totally okay.
But yeah, the track order.
Yeah, I honestly. So the first song and the last song are the intro and the outro. So that was already like established. The rest of the songs kind of fell into place. It's very weird, but I kind of knew where I wanted them to be and like what songs I wanted them to be near. There were a couple things I switched around, but I think I chose more like based on the sound of the song versus like what it's about. Because I wanted it to flow nicely on the ears. Some people listen in order, but a lot of people don't. And so I just feel like, why not put them where it makes the most sense and call it a day. Don't overthink it too much, you know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's very easy to overthink everything when it comes to your music.
Absolutely. But the first song on the album is called I Think I Could, and I wrote that the week I started dating my ex, and it's about having trust issues and feeling like you're unsure if someone is being like for real with you. And it says like, I think I could love you, but I think the first lyric is like, I'm learning to jump with a fear of falling. And so that kind of sets up the album for what I was about to go through.
Right.
The last
setting
song,
the stage, if you will.
Exactly. And the last song on the album is definitely, it's called I Wish I Knew. And it's just about like, well, damn, if I knew.
Looking back.
If I knew, you know,
Yeah.
I wouldn't be in this situation. But I think that that's why it's called Different Girl. I'm a different girl. I'm a different person. And I am thankful for every relationship I've ever been in because I wouldn't be who I am without them. So I think that's the gorgeous thing about love is like it destroys you, but it also creates like beauty in the chaos. I don't know.
Yeah. You learn about yourself in the process through the good and the bad. You come out the other side hopefully like a better person.
Yeah.
You do have to make that choice though.
Yeah.
You know,
You do.
you have to
It can go
like
either way.
totally. But it is funny how any relationships in any way will affect how we choose to go forward as ourselves. And I feel like, you know, your music can do the same. Your own music when you're writing, sometimes if you choose to challenge yourself enough to do something, you kind of raise the bar for future songs.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel like there was a song that you've written that on this project that really raised the bar for the rest of the songs, or even more songs you've written after this album?
Raise the bar. I mean, I think the song, first of all, my single Heartbreak Stain, that one is definitely one of my favorites. When I wrote that, I was like, this is like me putting my heart on something and like throwing it out into the world. Like, so that song, when I wrote that, I was like, okay, this album is leveling up. And then when I wrote I Wish I Knew, I think that one was the one that really showed me my writing capabilities. And it was definitely the most therapeutic one to write to, I think. So that one, I was like, this is fire.
Sometimes you just know.
Yeah, I was like, I need to record this right now. And then when I brought it to the studio, Aaron was like, do you even know what chords you're playing? They're very funky chords, like
Cool.
very weird. And he was like, do you even know what you're doing? And I was like, no, I have no idea what this is. I was like, I honestly was hoping you would know. But he had no idea. And he was like, we'll figure it out. But like, it sounds so weird and cool and like very eerie. And so the first part of the album is definitely sounding more bright and like hopeful and happy and excited. And then the end of it sounds like a tornado. It sounds like a thunderstorm. And I think that it really, I wrote I Wish I Knew without even realizing that it was going to be the outro. So when I realized that it would be, it was like perfect. It's like, this is it.
I love how you didn't even know the chords or anything either. Sometimes not knowing gets you there quicker.
More than half the time.
Because then you can't overthink it.
Yeah, really, truly, because I mean, I wrote, The Beast. I was like, I don't know what this chord is. And like, I really am not a musical genius. I don't know anything, but I just know what sounds good. And I think that's very important. And I think it should be very normalized to not know what the hell is going on.
Yeah.
And just kind of roll with it. I think it makes it more authentic too, because I'm not sitting there like, oh, well, if I go to this chord and this chord, like, no, I'm going to do whatever I want, actually. I make the rules.
You mentioned Aaron Rizzo, producer.
Shout out to Aaron Rizzo.
Shout out the man, plays guitar for me. He rules. He was your producer, and I'm just wondering, from your perspective, having worked on a whole album with him, obviously you guys had a great relationship during this. What do you feel like are some good qualities in a producer that someone should look out for when they want to work with somebody?
That's a great question. I've worked with so many producers at this point. And I think the number one thing to look for in a producer is chemistry. I think that if you can't have banter at all, if you can't have any sort of relationship with somebody that you're creating such intimate music with, and I think that it can obviously make things, it can make you closer. But if you can't sit there and have a good laugh, if you can't sit there and talk about a crazy story or talk about something wild with your producer, then are you really getting everything out of it that you could be getting?
The hang is so important.
It really is. And I think like I am lucky I've known him for at least a couple years now. We met at a songwriting competition at Eddie's Attic.
Oh.
We both got in the finals.
Nice.
And that's how we met. And so he didn't start producing for me until last fall, though. Like, or I guess it was last summer. It was last summer because he did Mood Ring. And when we recorded that, I was like, he gets it. I was like, finally, like, I'm working with someone that like really understands what I'm going for. And I have had some great producers in the past. Like, it's all love over here, but I think there's something so different about him and his process and our process. And it flowed so naturally. I think we disagreed on one thing on the album.
What was it?
Thing. I don't know if I should
Call him
you.
out.
I know. I'm like, wait. Okay, I'll do it. In the song Under My Bed, I hit this high note at the very end of it. Spoiler alert.
Get ready for the high note.
And I hit this one high note one time. My voice did this little weird like crack thing in the middle or towards the end of it. And in my head, I'm like, that was so embarrassing. I can't believe you just witnessed that. Like, I actually think I wish I had a button I could just disappear, like go into a bubble and never come out. And he was like, that was fire. Like, oh, that's it. And I was like, are you serious? You're joking.
Right,
like, you're
right.
actually quit messing with me right now. Like, I swear. So I was like, no, I need to redo that. And then I ended up redoing it a few times. I hit it perfectly. Like, the one that's on the album, I hit it so perfectly. I was like, this is exactly what I wanted. And he disagreed with me. He was like, no. He was like, the one with the crack, that was the shit. And I was like, to this day, we still disagree about it. But that was the one thing that we disagreed on. And I think out of an entire album, 8 songs recording, disagreeing on one thing is crazy.
Pretty good.
Yeah. I would say that's pretty good.
So which
ratio.
one made the album?
The one that I wanted.
Yeah.
Because,
well. Yeah.
I was like, he was like, I know you're gonna lose sleep over that, and I was like, absolutely, we cannot.
I think we need an alternate version.
No, I don't think it'll ever see the light of day. I don't think it'll ever.
The crack version.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to make him sign a contract to never,
a non-disclosure.
to never show that because I'm still embarrassed about it. And I really tried to like it.
Yeah.
I was sitting there and I was like, maybe he's right. Like, maybe he's right. And no, every time he played it, I was like, please turn it off right now. Like, please, I can't do this.
Yeah, I mean, that is an interesting balance when you know you're going to lose sleep over it or want to crawl out of your skin every time you hear it. Even if somebody else is telling you it's great, like, that's a hard decision to make, especially when it's your producer who's...
And Aaron Rizzo is a genius. He knows
everything.
everything.
I mean, you have to trust.
Yeah, so it's really hard for me to be like, I really have to disagree. I have to.
Yeah.
I have to. And now I'm really glad I did. Sorry, Aaron.
Sorry, Aaron. We still love you.
Yeah. So sorry about that. But it's for the best, for sure. And now it's like, there's nothing I would change. So.
Do you have any advice for an artist who wants to put out their first album? Let's say they've put out some songs, but they've never actually put together an album before. What kind of advice would you have for them?
I would say don't do it until it feels right, because I've been putting out music for like 6 years now, and this is the debut. I think that I did put out an EP at one point, and I mean, singles are amazing. They're so nice. They're so easy to promote and get yourself out there. Albums are a little bit different. They're a little bit trickier to promote. You have to convince people to not listen to one song but listen to 8.
Right.
And there's no correct way to do it. I would say the most advice I can give is like, do what feels right. And I mean, my process was very rushed. I just want this to be out into the world because I've had a habit in the past where I've recorded all these things and I've paid all this money and I've done the work and I have finished songs on my phone and none of it's out. There's probably at least like 200 songs sitting in my phone right now that I could release and I haven't. So I knew when this was done that like the last thing I want to do is procrastinate it. And even if I am not milking it as much as I should be, I think it's more important to have it out and have something like as mine and have, you know, when I show people my music, I just want to point them to this album. I don't want to be like, oh, look on Spotify, listen to this song or listen to this song. Like, I just want to be like, this is the album. If you like this, you will like all of my music. And if you don't, then maybe don't listen to
Yeah.
the rest of my songs. But I used to do like alternative pop and R&B, and like I fell in love with folk music over the last like year and a half, and I just didn't know that I was going to connect with it as much as I do. And this is more of a folk singer-songwriter album, very inspired by like Lizzy McAlpine and Lennon Stella, Annika Bennett,
Role model.
Ugh, love Role Model. I met him.
Whoa.
I met him in like 2022 or 2023, and he listened to my song.
No
and
way.
He told me it was fire, and so I'm like, ugh, if he thinks it's fire, everyone in the world should think it's fire.
Yeah, I mean, who cares if no one else does? If he does.
Yeah, I told him I was like, I'm gonna open for you on tour someday, and he was like, bet.
Nice, putting it out into the universe.
Oh, absolutely. It would make so much sense.
That would be awesome.
Right.
Would love to see that.
Right. Like, come on, let's get on that.
Role model, hit a girl up. Come on. Sweet. Well, NJ, that's going to take us over to the last 5.
I'm so
where we're
excited.
just going to answer 5 quick questions out of this magic bowl here.
Okay.
I'll put it right in the middle here.
Okay.
Well, actually, here, I'll put it closer to you.
You're way there. Okay, I was going to say.
There you go. So you can just shuffle it around, pick out any piece you want for the first question.
Okay. I mean, I have to go pink.
Gotta go pink.
Dream 3.
I have horrible handwriting. I'm sorry.
Wait.
Dream 3 band bill.
Yeah, band. Cool.
Damn,
Dream
calling
3
me
band
out.
bill. Like, what are we talking about?
Like if you go to see a concert that has 3 bands or 3 artists, you know, who would be the best 3 that you'd want to see? Like your personal
in my, like,
favorite.
Dream world. Okay.
Yeah, it's up to you. If you can think of people who are like, you know, dead or just not around anymore, you can do that, but it's usually easier to keep it kind of modern.
Yeah. Right off rip, I mean, Ariana Grande is on that.
Okay.
I don't care. I don't care what the haters say. That's my girl. That's my number 1 favorite artist. She will always be. So I would say her. Obviously, she's headlining. So before her, I'm gonna go Lizzy McAlpine, and then I'm going to say, you know, I would say Coin. Do you know who Coin is?
Yeah, R.I.P.
Yeah, I was gonna say, but now they broke up and they hate me.
Rip,
so
yeah.
I was about to get their album tattooed on me, so I'm really
Damn,
happy that I didn't.
Really
I'm
glad
really
you
happy
did
that I
not
didn't.
do that.
So never mind, scratch that.
I know. That sucks. It was so sudden.
I'm
so out of nowhere.
heartbroken. I'm heartbroken.
And
but-
just like that, it's like,
I mean,
it
I've seen
didn't
them live
exist.
so many times.
Oh,
and, like,
really?
I've met them. Yes.
damn.
They were my favorite band of all time. So that's.
They have some bangers.
I'll never take the posters down in my room. I can't do it.
It's okay. You don't have to do
I
it.
don't think so either.
I had a guy on the podcast. His name is Matt Martin. He would like produce some of their tracks, and Taylor Cotton, who's in the band Hefner, he's like played bass for them live, and I'm like, damn, so close. Thought one of these days,
Really
like,
so close. That's crazy. You're only 5 people away from
yeah.
everybody in the world.
It's crazy.
It's insane. I'm like, who knows Ariana Grande? Who can I call right now?
Right.
Okay.
So is Coin resurrected from the dead for this one or no?
I'm gonna say no. Out
Okay.
of respect. But so we have Lizzy McAlpine, Ariana Grande. I'm gonna have to say SZA. I'm gonna have to. Yeah, I think
That's a
those
good
are
one.
like I think those are like my 3 girls right there, and all 3 of them represent my music. I think in different ways.
Yeah.
Yeah. If it was like astrology, that would be my job. You know what I mean?
Yeah, your sun, your moon, and
I
rising.
would definitely be like a Lizzy McAlpine sun, SZA rising, and Ariana Grande moon.
That's man. I should write the question that way instead, or that should be its own question.
You know
I like
what?
that.
And it better be pink too.
What's your yeah? What's your musical horoscope? I like that.
Yeah.
Musical big 3.
Yeah.
Well, that's solid. Okay, Ariana
Okay.
Grande, SZA, and Lizzy McAlpine.
Yes.
All right, let's check question number 2.
Okay. All right. Oh my goodness. Least favorite song or album from your favorite artist? Shit. I mean, I just spilled my guts here. Ariana Grande is my favorite artist.
Yeah. I know this is a very disrespectful question.
It really is.
I know.
Like, hello. But I definitely have a least favorite song.
Yeah.
For sure. It's got to be one of the radio hits. Like, has to be.
Mm-hmm.
It's maybe Break Free, or she doesn't have necessarily like bad songs. That's the thing. Like, I think that she is a genius. I think that sometimes I just don't like when songs are too mainstream. Like, her best music is the stuff that nobody is talking about, unfortunately. Like, do you know the song Thinking About You?
Frank Ocean?
No.
Oh,
Ariana
no.
Grande?
Oh, okay.
See?
I thought we were pivoting for a moment.
No, that'd be crazy.
Yeah.
Frank Ocean is fire.
Yeah.
But, like, that song, incredible. Like, Touch It. Ugh.
Okay.
Underrated. Anyway.
Okay.
Let me not talk too much about my favorite songs.
No,
but
you're good. You're good.
least favorite, Break Free, or like Love Me Harder. I don't really like that song that much. I'm gonna go with one of those. Yeah.
Break Free or Love Me Harder.
Yeah, and they're not bad songs.
Right. It's just the least favorite.
I'm not gonna go pull that up on my phone and listen to it.
Right.
That's it.
If it comes up, you may or may not skip it.
Yeah.
Depends.
Exactly. But yeah, I mean, Thank You Next. I would not skip anything on that album. Or, Sweetener, or I don't know.
Sure.
But yeah.
All right. Question number 3.
Okay, I'm gonna go pink again because I have to.
Yeah, you might as well do all the pinks.
You're gonna be out of pink. Sorry about that. Best album covers. Ooh, I love album covers. Best album covers. Man, that is hard. Oh,
it's definitely one of those questions where you could answer it any time of the day until somebody asks you to think about it.
No, seriously.
I mean, the one you picked is literally a classic. Beatles, Abbey Road.
Yes. Oh my gosh. I mean, yeah, I could go on about that. But you know what? You know whose album cover I really love right now is Doechii.
Oh,
Alligator
the Alligator
Bites
Bites.
Never Heal.
Yeah.
I think it honestly really inspired my cover with, I don't know if you've seen it. It's It's me with a cat.
Yeah.
It was not necessarily on purpose, like the inspiration, but I definitely like love her cover so much. And mine, I booked a photo shoot at this farm, and I found these little like cat planters, and I was like, I need pictures with these cats. Like, cats are my.
You're saying all this with the
cats.
cats was on your shirt.
I'm a big cat fan. And cats honestly really represent this album. I think when you listen, like, you'll hear, I do reference like 9 Lives. I reference like, and I just think like, if I was gonna resurrect it, I would probably be a cat. So anyway, but I found these little planters and I was like, yeah, absolutely need that to be. I didn't think it was gonna be a cover for the album. I had already had all these other ideas, but as soon as we took the photo, we took everything on film. When I got it back, I was like, that is quite literally my album. So
sometimes you just know, and you don't really have a choice.
Yes, I really had no other choice. There's so many photos to pick from, and I was like, I kept coming back to that one. I cannot throw things. So anyway, love Doechii's. That
great.
one's one of my favorites. I would say I really like when covers don't have the title on it. Maybe that's a hot take, but I think
I'm with you.
It kind of makes them a little bit cheesy to me sometimes.
It can. It really. Yeah. It can make it or break it.
And sometimes it's neat. Like, sometimes I really enjoy the cover when it has the title, but a lot of the time I'm like, so.
It's more of a statement to not have it.
Yeah,
I think.
For sure, definitely. Like, it speaks for itself. I'm like, what's an album? Like, I'm literally like, I don't even.
Yeah, you can't even think of an album right now.
Yeah, I'm like, I've never listened to music in my life. I'm going to give Aaron Rizzo a shout out. I like the cover of Anchor a lot.
Yeah.
That's fire. Love that cover.
That is a great one. Him jumping in the air.
Yeah.
Just cheesing
See, you
so
just know
hard.
it immediately. Yes.
Yeah.
And it makes sense for the album. I think it really is cute. This is so hard.
I know.
Michael Jackson, This Is It. That's a great cover.
Which one is the This Is It?
The one, Unless I'm thinking of the wrong album, actually. But
No,
the one with like where he has like the hand and I think I might be thinking of the wrong
Oh,
one.
from This Is It. Wasn't that the movie?
Or wait, what album?
I mean, I think it was an album as well, but
okay.
I think it was also the documentary. I'm not.
Let me never speak again. Actually.
I gotta know. No, I gotta know. I'm not really like. I mean, Michael Jackson, obviously, king of pop. But in terms of just like me putting on Michael Jackson, just for fun, it's not happening much.
I could be thinking of something completely wrong, but I'm pretty sure that.
Nah, we're gonna look it up.
It popped into my head, so I'm like, maybe.
Was it this?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Is that not an album though?
I think it's an album and
a movie.
And the movie.
Okay, because the movie's fire too.
Yeah.
That's a great cover. I also, my God, I'm sorry, I'm taking 8 years.
No, you're good.
This question. This is very hard.
You've named like a good 4 or 5. You know, that's pretty good. You don't have to.
Okay.
Some people are
I'm
like
done.
1 and they can't think of anything else.
Unfortunately, I'm done.
No, those are classics.
Okay,
so that was
cool.
question number 4, 3.
Yeah.
3. Okay, so let's see number 4. I can't remember.
I'm going pink again.
We literally might be out of pinks now.
Probably.
I think you did all the pinks.
Best live show you've seen. Oh my goodness, you're asking me the worst questions. God, I have to pick. You know, I've been to like hundreds of concerts at this point.
You can pick a few. You don't have to limit it to one.
I mean, number 1 is gonna be Coin for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any specific
R.I.P.
one? You said you've seen them a bunch.
I've seen them a bunch. Honestly, every time I've seen them, it's gotten better and better. I think my first show was in like 2018, so I've been seeing them every time they come to Atlanta since then.
Gotcha.
So, yeah,
that's a lot.
Their concerts were always so therapeutic for me. I'm sad. Anyway, I'm gonna go Ariana Grande. Saw her in 2017 for the first time, and I was crying basically the whole time. I would say, you know, this girl named Annika Bennett. I don't know if you know who that is. She's
I don't
kind
think
of a
so.
smaller artist. I saw her in Nashville, and she played the show herself. She had a looper and was like in the front row, and it was a very tiny. It was at the basement in Nashville.
Oh yeah.
So it was like tiny venue, very like cute vibes. Loved that show. Amelia Moore. I don't know if you know who that is.
Don't think so.
Obsessed with her. Flew to New York to be at her first headlining show ever.
Whoa.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm a real fan.
Yeah, that is real
That was
fanship.
one of my favorites. SZA. I went to the SOS tour.
Damn.
And I paid like $700 to be. I was like 3 rows back.
Wow.
I literally saw her.
You were in
with
the
my own
third row?
2 eyes. Yeah.
Oh my god.
I witnessed her with my own 2 eyes.
Wow.
I'll never forget.
Yeah, how
it.
was that?
I'm still not okay.
Yeah.
Like at one point I did like collapse to the ground. It was when Summer Walker came out and they sang No Love and
man.
I feel like they did that for me.
Are you gonna go to the Kendrick?
I want to so bad, but I poured all my money into this album. Go stream.
Right. If you want a girl to go see SZA again,
yes, guys,
buy
please.
the album.
Fund my SZA ticket, please. I'm begging you. Yeah, I would say that's a pretty good amount. Those are like probably my favorite ones that came to mind.
Nice.
I'm probably missing something, but
that's okay.
yeah,
That's a solid few right there.
cool.
SZA, Coin, Amelia Moore,
Annika
Bennett. That's right. Ariana Grande.
Yeah,
You're
that was good.
You're nailing it.
That was pretty good. Okay.
All right, last one.
All right. Oh shoot. Oh God, I'm scared. Song you wish you wrote. Oh, there's so many. Oh, there's
Song you
so
wish
many.
you
know, I
wrote.
have a whole playlist of songs I wish I wrote.
Really?
I have to pick one.
Nah, you could pick a few.
I wish I wrote All in My Head by Tori Kelly.
Okay. Tori Kelly.
Love her. She's one of my favorite concerts I've ever been to also. I have to throw her on that list too. She gave me the mic to sing at her show, and I was like,
whoa.
Yeah.
Pressure's on.
Yeah, and my favorite song of all time is Confetti by Tori Kelly.
Okay.
And she like hand wrote it for me to get it tattooed on me. Fire.
Oh, whoa.
I still have to do it, but
Oh.
I think I lost it actually.
Oh,
I need to
no,
find that.
Tori,
I
I'm
need to
sorry.
find that. So that song, I would say
We got Confetti. We got 2 Tori Kelly songs.
Okay.
I mean, hey, you could say that's it, unless you
Okay.
know a few others.
Okay. I'm gonna say Lizzy McAlpine. I wish I wrote. God, the whole older album. First of all, wish I wrote that entire album. But like specifically, I love the song "Staying." Wish I wrote that. Oh, Annika Bennett. The song. What's it called? So Much More Than Me.
So Much More Than Me.
Yeah, you'll have to listen.
Annika Bennett.
Oh God, it's
You've
fire.
given me a lot of new songs to check out.
Oh my gosh, yes. And then Moves by Amelia Moore. Have to do that. And honestly, like Kill Bill by SZA. Like I think it's such a classic.
Yeah.
Song. Like okay, now I'm throwing things. Sorry.
I know you could throw them on the floor. Yeah, Kill Bill took the world by storm. I remember when that came out and like it was everywhere.
It's so good. It's still good. Like I still skip it.
The chorus is crazy.
That song is insane for sure.
Shout out to SZA. I love that album. That's another great album cover.
Oh my God. I know I thought about that too, but I was like,
both of them.
Here I keep saying all the same artists, but they're all so talented. I have to. I literally have to.
No, you got to give them their flowers.
I love that cover. I mean, yeah, Positions, Ariana Grande. I love that cover. That whole aesthetic was fire. Yeah, I mean, I think it's important to have inspiration from a lot of different people, and I couldn't even sit here and tell you, like, I have so many favorite artists. It's ridiculous. When people ask me, I'm like, I really have to narrow this down.
Right.
Obviously, Ariana,
which is literally this whole second half of the podcast.
It's been so hard. I can't do it. I'm never speaking about these things again. But I think that's the beautiful thing about music is it's okay to listen to everything and love everything.
Totally.
And that's why, there's so much competition in the music industry, but it's really like there's just so many people that want to listen to so many different things that I really think there's room for everybody. I really do.
Absolutely.
I don't believe in competition, especially with like local, like Atlanta artists. Like there's nobody that I feel competition with. I think everybody has room for the spotlight. And I hope that, if when I'll speak in existence, when this works out for me, when music works out for me, I hope that I take everybody with me or that someone else feels that way about me. I think what you give is what you get. And everyone's so talented. It's annoying. It's so annoying. I wish I didn't have a job so I could just go to everybody's shows all the time. And
yeah.
I just love seeing everybody growing. And I think this past year I see so much growth in this little Atlanta community. So
it's beautiful.
Yeah.
Love Atlanta. That's why I have this podcast so I can selfishly invite everybody on.
Yes. What a
pick their brain
idea.
Yes. So if you're an Atlanta artist, hit me up. Come on the pod. We'll chat.
Do it. He's gonna ask you horrible.
Yeah, I'm gonna put you in the hot seat.
But just be prepared for every song you've ever listened to.
Yeah, really study your Spotify.
You're gonna have to study. Yeah, you're gonna have to study your raps the past like 5 years.
All right, NJ, that's our time here. On that note, everybody needs to go check out Different Girl, which is out April 11th.
Yes.
Coming out 2 days after this episode drops. So go stream it. And go see NJ at your next show. Do you have any shows coming up?
Working on that.
We'll be on the lookout. And in the meantime,
release party on the 11th.
Release party on the 11th. Yep. There you go. And so in the meantime, stream Different Girl.
Yes. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, of course, NJ. Thanks for coming on.
On that note, with Parker Whirling.